Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Spring Porter with Spring Solutions LLC. In this video, I wanted to show you an additional way to search probate cases in the funds locator. And I will pull one from the state of Maryland and I'll walk you through that process again. I've done a video on this previously, but I did not show you this particular step. If you're interested in working with probate court cases in bankruptcy unclaimed funds, please make sure you stay tuned. Please note that I am not an attorney. This information is not indicated as legal advice. If you go to the funds locator and under the creditor name, if you type estate of and you click search, it's going to pull up two things. All the estate claims or estate cases where there are funds left over, it's going to pull those cases up. It's also going to pull up any creditor name that has the word real estate in it. And if you leave the court blank, as I mentioned, it's going to pull this up nationwide. So if I click the highest amount twice, or click amount twice, it's going to pull up the highest claim. And when I do that, you see that this says GG Real Estate LLC. So this is not a probate issue, but you could still work this. It's just a real estate company. But if you go further down, you'll see estate of, estate of, estate of, and these are individuals that have filed, that had either filed bankruptcy or they filed a claim in someone's case and then they later died. So I believe I showed you this example, Cassandra Jones, in a previous video, and the husband was trying to retrieve the funds on behalf of the wife. So I'm going to show you another example. This is a way that you can search this if you wanted to do something slightly different and you wanted to kind of break up the monotony of looking through these sites. You can work these sort of probate cases. If you go back to the beginning and you type your individual state and also estate of, it's going to pull up probate cases as well as anything with the name real estate. It'll pull that up too for that particular district. So this again is in the state of Maryland. There's only about 30 cases or so. Keep in mind that this court is for all the individuals or businesses that have filed bankruptcy in the state of Maryland. Now the creditors can be anywhere. They could be in the state of Maryland or they could be anywhere nationwide. It could even be international. So just keep that in mind when you're clicking on the envelope. See, this right here says that this individual is actually in New York because that's where he died. So just keep that in mind. This one here is in Maryland, right? So I'm going to use this one as an example. And just keep in mind, this is just for researching purposes. I would not actually do this for $200. But you may see one that's maybe $20,000 or $12,000. Again, these numbers are subjected to change because bankruptcy is going to go up. And you just never know what kind of case that you're going to get. So let's type in the last name, R-U-D-D, and her name is Cheryl. And again, this is the state of Maryland Register of Wills. I don't need the county specifically to do this search, so you have to find out if this is a state-wide search in the state that you're in, or if you have to do it by county. You have to research that. I'm not sure. So if I click on this, it pulls up her Register of Wills docket. And here it gives the personal representative. So it looks like it may be a husband because the last name is the same. So Robert Rudd, I would call him and say, hey, you know, I've got your contact name from the court docket. It appears as though Ms. Rudd had money left over from a bankruptcy case. Would you be interested in retrieving those funds? So you would essentially treat Mr. Rudd as if he were the client. And again, depending on which state you're in and what your instruction packet says, you may need either a death certificate or maybe just a copy of this particular docket, because at least the court will know that it is from that state, and it says right here that he is a personal representative, so therefore he is able to, you know, speak on behalf of Cheryl Rudd, and he, you know, can retrieve the funds on behalf of her. So you would need something to that effect. And he essentially would be the one that would be signing, you know, any documents or contracts that you would need him to sign. Right, so that is another way of doing this. And let me see if I can find another example. Here is another one with the address listed in Maryland. So let's see. Now keep in mind, some people may not have a case with the Register of Wills at all. Now this one has been archived, so I can't even, find that information here. But I could always call the clerk's office and say, hey, I'm just trying to figure out, the personal representative for this case. I don't know if they will give you that information on the phone or not, or if you have to put it in writing. You would have to call and see if things are archived. They should have some of this information. Most of it should be here on electronic form. But again, they just started doing this a few years back. So again, you may run into some older cases where maybe that's not readily available. Let's see if I can just search one more, and then we'll just close this video out. John Jennifer. That looks like this is the name, but I do not have a middle initial. And this looks like it's from 2004, so I'm assuming it's the first one. Baltimore City, yeah. So this says no will. Margaret Cole and Jennifer Robinson are the personal representatives. So you have two people that you can call and see if they would be willing to work with you on retrieving these funds back. Right, so this is how you read this particular docket. Again, all states and counties, they're going to look different, but this is what it looks like in the state of Maryland. And again, I didn't pay any money to get this. This is a free site. Now, obviously, if I'm requesting copies of the will or copies of the death certificate, then yes, there's going to be a fee associated with that. But again, just to get the PR information and the attorney's information, I didn't have to either register or put in an email or anything. Okay, so maybe give these a try if you're trying to break up the monotony of looking through these court dockets and you're seeing similar names over and over again. Maybe try a different approach. Again, you can file deceased claimants. It says so in the instruction packets, right? So give that a try. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel. Please search for information in the description box pertaining to my course and my services. They're all still available for you to utilize. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.